Hey, what's going on? I'm Rustin,
And I'm Ian.
and this is like our first podcast, I guess we call it. We're here to talk to you guys today about Tilt, which is a local brand that we came up with. Ian, why don't you tell the folks a little bit how you came up with this idea?
All right. Well, just like everyone else, I'm just out working, doing normal 9 to 5 things, and this crazy pandemic thing hit us sideways. And I happen to be one of the fortunate people that was an essential working at Advanced Auto Parts, to be correct. Just a driver there, just sitting around watching the world that was closed down, and just kept thinking to myself, what could I do to help? With all the stuff that I've learned over the years of doing video work and networking, was able to come up with a concept of just basically coming back to help other people.
Yeah, I think Ian and I actually at that time we were kind of struggling with like getting into the video world. Ian and I were both working for like NBC Universal and people like that were working for the Oxygen Channel and stuff like that, drone operators trying to get our foot in the door, and we were kind of having trouble finding our path as local talent. So, as a just a passion wanted to support local talent because we wanted to be noticed, and we saw that that was a problem.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name Tilt?
Walking around in the house, just trying to come up with a brand name, something that would, I don't know, it was really tough. There's a few of them out there, but for some reason, Tilt came about, and it was really because of the acronym. That's what I needed, because it stood for Trust in Local Talent. And
Trust in local talent.
So Trust in Local Talent is how Tilt became, because I just basically thought about that. That's what I wanted to do. I was tired of the big corp taking over and just absolutely just doing people wrong, and was like, you know what? I'm tired of chasing the dollar bill and doing all this stuff for someone else's project or someone else's dreams. And said, what about all the people that are like me, that have been out there, that are just working really hard but do have a passion or a dream that they want to pursue? And just came up with the idea of, how about I not worry about money for once and just go out and help people with the skills that I acquired.
Just have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah, the corporation took, we did a lot of video production jobs. I've worked for, New York, LA, England, all this stuff. And, I was always just a little PA running around helping them do their
It
thing.
seems like it's always the same when you're going to those kind of productions. It's all about like, the dollar and stuff like that. So everybody's like really stressed out.
Yeah.
And they tend to treat people like me and Ian like crap on set, thinking, well, they're just a PA, and so they'll treat them like a grunt. But for people like us, like we wanted to be like them. We were film guys and we loved video. So, that was very discouraging to see people who you would consider your mentors putting down your trade. That's like you going to be a freestyle motocross person and them telling you you're never going to be a rider. That's just terrible. So we didn't want that to happen to us. And, Ian and I, we have different backgrounds, but we both met in college at Santa Fe College, and we kind of saw each other's talents kind of right away. And, Ian comes from a BMX background. He was racing all over the country, and actually won a lot of accolades. You can see that on the film if you'd like to check that out. And for me, I've been on the stage every year since I was 5 years old. So, being an entertainer and being a musician was something that was special to me. And we didn't really mean for this to happen, but as we were going out and filming, like Ian was just like, I want to film motocross. He wanted to film it his whole life. I think he spent every day playing those type of video games and wrestling games and stuff like that, just because he just loved it. He'd spend his time on TikTok watching it and everything. So, when we got the opportunity to shoot freestyle motocross, it was really just to come film those guys and just get the opportunity to get my camera focusing on somebody who's jumping 60 feet in the air.
Yeah, I went to the extent of being a drone operator, going through learning the test, learning how to become a drone operator, doing it the right way. And that was the first thing I wanted to film, was freestyle motocross. I've been dreaming about it since I've seen action sports videos. I watched the Fox Racing Terra Firma series, and they got me fired up. That's all I wanted to do, was be around it. And, I raced for many years, and this also leads right into it. I raced for, at least 2 years solid, won, state championships, won stuff like that, but could not get a sponsor the whole entire time. I tried, as a 12, 13-year-old kid, well, I probably didn't put that much, but I was putting the work in and I was getting the results.
I hope with Tilt we're able to sponsor people like Ian.
That's where a lot of it came from, That's and then all the years later, I still, my dad would mention to me, he's like, I tried so hard to get you sponsored, son. And I said, I know you did. There's no doubt in my mind, but for whatever reason, it didn't happen. And guess what happened to that dream? Well, it kind of faded away. It became, well, now you're out of high school, now you need to go to college, you need a job, and all that stuff happened. But I never lost the passion for it. I just didn't have the support to pursue it. So I kept riding bicycles, but the BMX racing dream was kind of put on the back burner. And that's what I don't like to see happen to other people. And that's why we love to find people that need that extra little tilt in the right direction to help them be able to pursue their passions and their dreams. Because that's the number one thing you hear is, money's always the thing. It's always, that's why I can't do this. I'm like, doesn't always mean that you got to give up on it. You just have to find a different way to do it. And you got to find some support somewhere. And it comes from places you won't expect sometimes. And you just got to put in the work.
I've been trying my whole life to pursue music, and that has been one of the toughest roads because, nobody really wants to pay you to be a musician or an artist unless you're someone really of prestige that they're going to bring in ticket sales and this and that. I mean, I asked a local place to come play, and they said, how many people can you bring? And me playing there was all about how many people I was going to bring to their establishment. It had nothing to do with my skill or all the time that I've invested in my craft. So, we hope that with this project, we're able to enlighten you guys a little bit about what people go through to pursue their passions. And if you see somebody that's so simply like on Instagram, like, hey, look at my skateboard trick. They spent a lot of time just to get good enough to do that trick, to show it to you, and it should be supported, and that's the whole idea of this brand is we're trying to find a landing spot for everyone to come together and create a community of people who are all working together to pursue a common dream, which is chasing your passion and getting some type of way to do it consistently without it coming out of your pocket all the time. A lot of times, like with BMX riders or skateboarders or anybody like that, what if their wheel breaks? Or what if they need a new helmet or something like that? Where do you think that money comes from? What they have to spend that extra time making that money to create that. Just like with me, I have to buy a new guitar or this and that. Like these things cost money, so it's important that you support people who are passionate and chase their dreams. It's the whole reason why I really believe in this myself.
Yeah, and that's what the whole 9-to-5er comes from. I see a lot of them out there, and that's they still pursue their passion. They still work that 9-to-5, so they can support their own habit that it is. It's literally a habit. It's something that's in us. We're not going to give up on it. We're going to keep doing it no matter what. And if we have to work that job to get the parts or whatever it is, the gas money to get to the next event or whatever the key is to the success, that's what you do. And to have a little bit of relief to help you is literally priceless.
Well, Tilt became something much more for both of us. It became something that we saw was bigger than us. It's a way we can help others. And, it's a way we can also help ourselves continue to pursue our dreams as videographers. Before I ever came into this, I had a TV show I was working on called A Town Nearby, which I planned to come back to. But, those type of projects and stuff are what make an artist and make somebody stronger as an artist so that we can bring you guys content that you guys want to enjoy. That stuff doesn't just come like, when people say, oh, I got to come up with a budget for a film, there's people out there like me and Ian who are trying to find the bare bones way to make a film. I mean, I'm going to just bring up one time when I wanted to do a gruesome scene where I got cut in half and I packed spaghetti into a sausage casing, and it looked like intestines, but it was just spaghetti and sausage casings. That was one of the cheapest, most inexpensive ways. I mean, the sausage casings must have costed me $3. They were ready to give it away. And the spaghetti was nothing. So, sometimes you've got to use what you have around to, make stuff work. And I think a lot of these Tilt people out here, they do that. They run off of low fuel productions, which is like kind of what another one of our little side productions that we say, or gotta eat productions, because, there's times where we've been on the road where we've been hungry just not only to get out there and meet you guys, but we've been actually hungry. So, you know, building this brand would help us help everyone. And that's kind of the reason why we're doing it.
Yeah, that was the simplest concept that I came up with during that. Let's say, you know, I'm sure you're about the same as me. We're probably, I'm 13 to 15 years deep, give or take, into, you know, being a film, you know, maker.
We pretty much started at the same time in college. 2010.
Yeah.
13 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So yeah, 13, that's my lucky number anyway.
Same.
And it works very well. But yeah, that was kind of the process of it was, you know what, I'm tired of basically chasing the dollar, trying to do things that I didn't believe in, you know. It was just a paycheck. And after that happened many times, I said, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to literally use everything that I've learned, networks, and basically just focus on helping others. And somehow, some way through this process, I'll get what I need to. But that wasn't the focus. The focus was, all right, well, I have these skills. I have an amazing partner in crime that understands the vision, and we're just going to go out and start filming. And we're going to find local talent. Because I'll tell you one thing right now, he's had the same thing told to him. We've both tried so many different routes. They've told us since day one, you will never be able to do what you do in this town. It's impossible. You're going to have to move to Atlanta. You're going to have to move to LA.
Which I did.
He did do that.
I moved to Atlanta just to try to get in the business.
And that was my point. They're wrong. And we're here to prove them wrong, because I'm like, this town is full of talent. It's local talent. And you guys are looking way up here. They're right here.
And that's in every town, really. I mean, we could travel from town to town finding local talent. And the funny thing is, you might be in some place like Miami, and you're going to bring up somebody's name. They're going to say, oh, I saw them in Gainesville. Mm-hmm. And the reason why they're going to say that is because these places are all connected. And that's why it's important to bring the community together. I mean, why shouldn't a freestyle motocross person be talking to a person from Ride Now who does motorcycle shows all the time? They might have 5 motorcycles at home that they tinker with and all that stuff, and find their best friends and their best community. And that's what Ian and I want to do, is kind of help bridge those gaps. You know, even little things like the food trucks that Ian worked on and stuff like that. All these connections that we've made are going to come back into handy. I mean, from artists to musicians. Yeah. You know, it's been crazy to me, because even some of my, like 20 Weight, one of the bands that's in the film.
Amazing.
I listened to them for years, and out of just nowhere, we're like, well, they're from Jacksonville. Maybe they'll be interested in being in the film. I sent them a message, and they answered me back, and I was so shocked that somebody I looked up to as a musician actually took the time out to write me back and say, what song are you looking for? And I said, well, I'm thinking about doing BMX. And they instantly said, Pushing Pedals.
The perfect
I was
one.
like, that's it. Which I already knew.
The music video was already cut. They had already made their own. That was the beauty of it. But when I actually saw what they had in it, I'm like, it's literally all the stuff that I watched. The movie Rad's in there, the Goonies.
Same with Flash Mob. Flash Mob was another one. Like they already built these videos.
Yeah.
That's what we did with a lot of these artists, was we would ask them, like, do you have a video that's already built? So with Grab Bag, they had Flash Mob already built. Beautiful. It was so easy just to overlay that awesome skateboard footage that these local guys at Possum Creek and Ocala gave us, and you know, finding people like that who can launch out of a bowl or do kickflips off a hip and like nose grinding and all these different things. These are hard tricks.
Oh yeah.
To see these happening in
hours
Gainesville
and hours
blows
and
me away.
Days of practice, months of practice, years of practice to do one trick, you know, to nail it. So
well, you know, it's like that one competition with Billy Rohan. You know, they did a little competition.
Skate Jam.
Yeah, and the Skate Jam was really cool because I saw kids from 5 years old all the way up till Ian's age, which you'll see the other Ian. He's like in his 50s. You know, he said he was 30 years skateboarding. You know, and some of these things, like they've spent their entire lifetime honing their craft, and that's why it shouldn't be overshadowed and overlooked. Those people should be, you know, we should show who they are. So why don't we actually talk about like kind of the process of how we did this film, how we made it.
Okay.
Starting with like the freestyle motocross.
Well, the easiest way to describe it is to make it very simple. I'm action sports. He's music. That's the best way to describe it. So,
But we both love both. But,
exactly.
we
That's
came
the
from
thing.
those
We're
worlds.
constantly learning about both through each other and meeting all these people. But the concept of local music, use their music videos. That way they're getting, we're not coming in to recreate the wheel. We literally we want to showcase you. So here's your music video blended with stuff that we film from action sports. And now they know who you are. They might be interested in your band, and they will be, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be like, oh, well, they actually have a music video. We just happen to watch the tilted version of it. So then it immediately tilts direction right to them. And I watched a ton of action sports videos growing up and still do.
Well, yeah, we don't want their credit. We want to give them the credit.
Exactly. And I would just be like, they go hand in hand, but they've never really showcased the music side. You barely, you get it in the credits. Yeah, sure, whatever. But like we want them in it.
20 weight.
Right. And like we wanted to make sure that you knew exactly who the band was. You already seen the music video. And that's kind of how it started. But then, like I said, I went and became the drone guy so I could go out and film freestyle motocross because I really didn't think of any other better way to do it than with a drone. So we go out there, we start filming, and we're like, okay, I think our original game plan was
just
4 chapters, maybe. It doesn't
at the time, we didn't even know there was going to be a chapter. We were just like, let's just film these freestyle motocross guys. I was just like, I want to get some shots of the jumps. I was just a green videographer, just anxious to put my camera in some danger, stand on the hill. And, it just turned into so much more because after we started to, talk with them and the one thing we missed actually with them was actually getting a lot more interviews.
Yes. And I did reach out to people, by the way. And, but that's,
we'll get those again with you guys one day.
They will be episodes. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah,
we'll just do follow-ups.
It's a good time to talk about that. We do plan after we release the movie in December to make episodes. So we will be coming back to people who are in the film, as well as doing episodes on new stuff. Like we have a lot of really cool ideas out there. There's a lot of things that get overlooked. Can I mention a few?
Absolutely.
Like rodeo, surfing, rollerblading. Pigeon racing. Did you know pigeon racing is a thing? I literally went camping, and these people take these pigeons and put little ribbons on their feet. They take them to another place. They know where their home is, and they release them, and they have a little thing that you can see which ones come in first. And I thought that was such a cool thing because these people train their pigeons all year to know how to fly that path. So you just never know what you're going to run into, and we're always looking for the next person to support with Tilt, and we want to help you guys stay tilted.
Absolutely. And the other thing you have to understand about Tilt is it's all local talent. It doesn't have to be something wild or crazy. It can literally be a librarian, a firefighter. Local talent, a painting company that's local. It's basically about supporting the locals, by the locals, for the locals. That's what the whole thing is built for. That way you can be like, I saw them on the Tilt episode and now I want to do business with them because I understand them. It's not a TV, broadcast where literally the reporter shows up with the camera because, they're trying to do too many jobs and they're just worried about this, that, and the other. No, we're there to figure out how you got into it, why you're so passionate about it. And then, bam, now you understand this business. But not only that, you understand the person that's behind it. And that makes it extremely powerful. And it makes you, want to go out there and support them, and that's as simple as it is. And obviously they're going to be Tilt tested and Tilt approved. We're not just going to throw people on there that are just like, oh, here's some money because we don't play that game.
We're not sellouts.
No.
We are in it for the passion. That's the whole reason why we started this, and we will never lose that integrity.
Oh no.
And that's what we're looking for, is looking for we notice in your eyes who is passionate. We see it.
Oh yeah.
When I see somebody lining up for a shot and they got that focus in their eyes, they're about to go into a launch, I see it in their eyes and I know who's passionate.
Yeah.
And as a film people, it's our responsibility to capture those moments and to see those nuances in people's heart and their souls and what they want to express. And we just really care. No matter what you are, if you're a coffee maker, If you're a grocery clerk, it doesn't matter. There's people out there.
Yeah. If you're great at something, you're passionate about something, and it doesn't matter if it's your 9-to-5 job or it's something that it's your side thing. It's like those are the ones we really like to find are the side hustles, the side gigs, the things that you're really good at that you do, and sometimes you don't even put out there. You just kind of, you're maybe a little unconfident about it, or whatever the case may be. Maybe people told you, "Oh, I don't know about that," but you're still doing it, and that's what we're talking about. Like, because we're here because we get it, we really do, and we have respect for all types of stuff like that. And that's
every artist,
we're creative people, and we look for other creatives. And,
every single person in our film, we have gained a personal relationship with each one.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not something that we just come into it with no passion for ourselves. We genuinely love to learn.
Oh, absolutely.
About these sports, and we have fun.
Oh, we have a blast.
And we put that's what
the fun back in the film. That's what we lost.
We put the fun in
film. We both did so many things for other people, and I'll never forget it. I almost wanted to make a podcast called...
I see a lot of filmmakers struggle with this.
Yes.
They're just trying to find their way, and we found it.
Yeah, and I wanted to do like a PA podcast at one point because I drove a lot of directors of photography, the producers, all these big, that are on TV that do these shows. Well, I took that opportunity to talk to them. How did you get into it? Like what do you get out of it? And I'll tell you, 9 times out of 10, they want to be doing their own thing. They're over it too because they're creatively boxed in. Like they have so much time to do this thing and they have to do it exactly this way. And they're burnt out, and they're like, I'm like, yeah, I know you're making, a good chunk of change and they take care of you and all that. But at the end of the day, guess what? You're flying away from your family. You're flying away from your home. You're stuck in a stinking hotel. No offense. I used to think I wanted that life. Shoot, I slept in my vehicle for 4 days to work in Orlando, working on some gig.
Just to be a part of the business.
Yeah, just to kick the door in that I didn't even want.
I went and became an actor in Atlanta just to get behind the scenes because they denied me at every single studio. I went to 12 studios in Atlanta just to have them at the gate, there's a gate, hand me an online pamphlet and say, go online. And then no one would answer me online. So I went to the highest floor, tallest floor in Atlanta, never even went on another elevator that goes on another elevator to go up more floors, and went to become an actor. And literally within 2 or 3 days, I'm in the studio that I was trying to get into. But this time I'm infiltrating it as an actor. And even though I got into there and I asked people a lot of questions, those people are so wrapped up in the money and the baby boomers, mindset that they don't see fresh talent. Not only that, they're just there for a paycheck.
Yeah. And that's like the worst thing right there. That's just, you just become numb to it and then there's no creativity and
there's no fun in that.
And that's what happened. I said, everything me and him have ever filmed together with T.I.L.T, we are having fun. We're sitting back. We're eating. We're not going to sit there and starve ourselves. We're going to eat. We got to eat.
Got to eat. So, like that. And I enjoy that because when Ian texts me or calls me and he says, hey, this new thing's in town or you want to go film this episode. Right now, I was like, I don't know, because we're trying to finish the movie and the hard drives are so full that I'm struggling just to make sure it's going to be completed. But when he texts me about those things, I get excited, and it gives me something to do with my day. It gives me something to be excited about because a lot of times as videographers, we find ourselves way behind scenes. If you were to go to a concert, say you're going to see Tenacious D, if you're there to film Tenacious D, you will have to be backstage and have backstage conversations with them. So a lot of times Ian and I find ourselves in the opportunity, like Ian found himself at the wrestling, the first wrestling match we went to, micro midget wrestling.
That one was Extreme Dwarfinators. Oh, you're talking about the one we went together?
No, yeah, that was Extreme Dwarfinators.
Yes, Extreme Dwarfinators.
So Ian had gotten behind the scenes footage with those guys talking about getting ready and what's the difference between a baby and a heel and a little bit of some concussion stuff because one of the guys got flung out the ring. We actually took that out of the film because we were worried about him.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to portray that in a negative light. So, sometimes these behind the scene things are, they're usable and not usable.
Yeah.
But they're very important and they're very special to us.
And I'll tell you the secret how I got in. It was very cool. I happened to, I did some video work for a local food truck.
He gets it.
Yeah. and they just started making pizzas, and I love pizza, by the way. So anyway, he sees me at the event, and he goes, "Here, take this pizza and hook up the wrestlers." I said, "Absolutely." So I immediately grabbed this pizza. No one knows me there. I just grab the pizza, and I walk, and I just start asking people. I say, "Where are the wrestlers at? Where's the locker room?" And they just point me in the right direction, and I just pop open the door, and I got pizza in my hand. They have no clue what I'm there for. They think I'm a food delivery guy. I don't know. I'm wearing this stuff, by the way, anyway. So, and I come in, and it's like, "Oh, the food's here." I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Here, hook them up." And I'm like, "Oh, by the way, whip out my GoPro." And I'm like, "Can I get some interviews?" And they said, "Absolutely," which really wasn't an interview. It was more like me just talking and having a good time back there. But this is the early stages of it. It was like, oh, well, there's stuff coming into town. We don't have to go anywhere. All we got to do is buy a ticket and show up and say, "Hey, we want to film you." And
that's what I like about Ian, really, about, his passion. Like a lot of times when you really want something to happen, you will make it happen if you want it bad enough. That's what I did with my episode of my show. It's like I wanted it to happen.
The funnest
time
I've ever had in my life.
I was told that I could not.
Oh yeah.
That I could not make an episode like that in college by my professors, and I proved them wrong. And now I'm going to make a film too. I got a horror film in mind, which I'll tell you guys one day.
I love that stuff, by the way.
That's the whole reason why we're local talent, right? So trust in us. We're tilting it up over here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So let's get back into like what we were talking about the movie. First of all, I want to say here's what all we filmed: freestyle motocross, skateboarding, a little bit of scooter stuff. They did the scooter racing. The scooter racing was really cool because that's a brand new sport that doesn't even exist.
I've been filming it since day one.
We'll talk about that here more in a second. Cool. He's been there since day one. Wrestling, is midget wrestling actually. One wheeling. Don't forget about one wheeling.
Don't forget about one. Cool. He filmed that one all on his own. That was amazing. Sometimes that's what we did. We'd split up. But anyway, to keep continuing, we got the one wheel, we got BMX racing, we got roller derby.
And Ride Now.
And then the bike night.
Night.
Yep.
Supporting local motorcyclists.
Absolutely.
Of all types.
Yeah. One of our freestyle motocross riders is sponsored by Ride Now Jackson.
Oh, very
found out. Yeah.
Which one?
Nick Desmond.
Nick Desmond. Yeah. Hey, and Nick out there, if you're watching this, man, we really appreciate you being part of the film. Everybody we will be mentioned so far, we appreciate you guys so much.
Absolutely.
We're really looking forward to sharing this with you all.
Yeah.
So,
and that's where the Driveways band came from.
Oh yeah.
Nick Desmond.
It was his birthday, and as a birthday gift, we thought it was super cool to say, "Hey, the song that the band that you love agreed to let us put the song for your freestyle motocross segment."
The crazy guys over there reaching out. I don't know the Driveways band from nothing, but I immediately attached with them because they're totally what we're looking for in many ways. Like they even know what Are You Afraid of the Dark is. You'll figure that stuff out when you watch the Driveways band. But they're very like 2000s era with also the Halloween vibe, and I could never get enough of that. But anyway. Yeah, it was just one of those crazy things of, let me reach out and see what's up. And sure enough, and then on top of that, I'm like, well, it's his birthday. I was like, there'd be nothing cooler for him than to get the band to say happy birthday to him. So what I just reach out and I'm just like, hey, my friend here, Nick Desmond, is an absolute huge fan of you guys. And his birthday is like now. So is there any way you could reach out to him? And I'd be darned if they didn't send a little message and basically say happy birthday to him. So
cool.
And then we ended up filming the next weekend because
it's so funny. We had
all
this build up just to get out there to film freestyle motocross, and they're like, "Come on out next week."
Yeah, we're like, okay.
It's kind of like a movie I saw where a musician chased to be a musician his whole life, and then when he finally got the gig he was looking for, he's like, "What next?" And she's like, "We're gonna do it again tomorrow night."
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So like the reason why I bring that up is sometimes, even though you're so passionate, don't let your passions like rule you to the point where you get paralysis by analysis is what I like to call it. Because like, you can overthink things. Just be yourself. Go out there and have fun. Like don't overthink it. Don't think you need to have some crazy budget. I think that's a lot of what our message is. Right. Don't think you have to have all the crazy bells and whistles. Those things come with time. You got to build your way up to these things. I mean, Ian and I, we would have never gotten to where we are now overnight. It took 2 years now, almost going on 3, of building something that we truly believed in.
Yeah.
So, we filmed the freestyle motocross. There was a couple guys. Chris Bell came down.
That was really cool, which is literally...
Where was he from again?
They're both from like Massachusetts.
Yeah. So that was super cool. You can check him out in the film. Travis was there from...
Travis Willis,
from Freestyle...
From Team FMX.
Team FMX, which is super
cool.
Which
I had met him prior at like Ellie Ray's. They did a bar jump. And we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, the guy's going to come out here and jump the bar on his dirt bike. And I'm like...
That's amazing.
I'm like, what? Okay. I'm like, well, of course I'm going to be there. So, at the time I was actually working with Brett's bikes at the time, which you'll find out about him, did scooter racing. But sure enough, I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, it didn't even make sense to me, okay? And I'm just showing up, I'm there, and then I'll be darned if, that's when I met Travis, and here he is, and they're, I'm helping him roll out the inflatable ramp and stuff, and I'm like, this is cool. And then basically film that segment, which you can always find on YouTube. But the point was, that's how I met him. And then I met, one of the other guys. He's actually out of Kentucky. He just happened to be out and about, and they needed someone, and they got him. And I'd be darned if he didn't backflip the thing.
Oh my gosh! I feel like we could make separate podcast about each of the sports.
Oh, absolutely.
Because each one of them had its own story. Also going with the band. So I think we might do that for another podcast. So if you guys would please make sure you tune into the next time that we do this podcast, because we will be talking about freestyle motocross and then skateboarding and so on and so on. But let's also get into so we've gotten to like who can be involved. Anybody can be involved. Anybody can be tilted.
Oh, absolutely.
I just want to bring up maybe when we were doing the skateboarding event, there was a guy out there that was building these little sword guys.
I think it's Broke Deck Creations, I believe is the name.
I'm glad we're mentioning him. He didn't make it in the film, unfortunately. But
he's an episode, trust that. We have so many episodes already in mind and permissions already. It's backing up because we got to get the movie out.
He makes this little they
fighting.
They box each other kind of like Rock'em Sock'em robots.
Literally broken
skateboards. I mean, what a way to take someone's old boards and make true art out of it. And it's people like them that are on the sidelines, and Vision Fam over there painting murals.
Yeah, Visionary Fam is amazing.
All these different people.
Big fan.
Who are like right on the outskirts. We're like, there's talent, there's talent, there's talent, there's talent, there's talent. All these people are already all there in the same place. We're just trying to bring them all together. Dinner Rosati. Remember, she's one of them.
She just recently moved too. She's on the west side now.
Yeah. Well,
unfortunately missed your party. Sorry, but I'm sure you'll visit sometime.
Yeah. Well, the reason why we really liked her is she was really.
She got it. She
totally got the tilt mindset.
Yes, she's so cool.
Which she was out there rollerblading, or I'm sorry, skating.
Yeah, she's quad skater. Yes,
quad skating. With her camera, taking photography of the skateboarders as they were riding, and then she made her own Possum Creek skate park.
Yeah, it's the Everyday Possum Creek, I believe. So yeah, she's out there taking photos and maybe catching a little video here and there, but it was mainly photography. But she's out there supporting all the local kids that are out there
on her own time,
adults. Whoever's out there, on her own time, and she would just show up and make these cool, amazing photography shots and just post them up and that alone was priceless because I remember that as a BMX racer, luckily one of my friend's moms did the photography and to just get one shot, whether I was in the front of the pack, in the back of the pack, it didn't matter. Like just to get those photos was priceless to me. It was like the coolest thing because when you're in it, and it's not the same because you miss a lot of it. And honestly, most of my stuff was unfilmed, and that was another reason why, the concept was like, man, I really want to go out there and create this platform for everyone to share with and support each other.
Yeah, because in the future, you guys can be tagging T.I.L.T with your footage, which we definitely want to see. We want to see all of your footage.
Oh yeah.
And if we find something that we actually really like, we might reach out to you and come film an episode with you, or want to use your footage. We welcome you guys to send us everything you want to our T.I.L.T group, and it's to show off to your friends. Like it's literally to show off. We want you guys to show off. Come show us your best talent, your best skill, because we literally are here to trust in local talent. That's what T.I.L.T stands for.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about like the scooter racing guys.
Okay.
So, Ian, a couple years ago, when they first started filming these guys, when they did their very first race,
Yeah.
they had like a barbecue and a band and stuff like that, which you can see the band on there. But what I find really cool is there is no such thing as scooter racing. There isn't a thing.
They made
This guy had 100. Brett from Brett's Bikes had like 100 scooters dropped off, which you can hear about this in the movie. And he was like, "What am I going to do with all these?" And they decided to start racing them. Next thing you know, this is one of the most inexpensive motorsport game that I know of. I mean, anybody that sees it says, "Where's my moped so I can get out there and get on the own one and start racing?" Of course, it is a sport, though. It's going to take you some work, get your body, acclimated. But these people go out there and they give their passion at River Run. By the way, is the name of their raceway. I see River Run Raceway being in a video game one day. Like it's such a cool concept.
Yeah. They've even had the opportunities that once people get wind of it,
that's what I was going to bring up.
They're like, I could totally build this because the track is small,
very small.
It's NASCAR style. It's not big. And they're like, people have actually mentioned, well, maybe we can bring you out here and we'll build you a little track and then you guys can perform out here. I mean,
that'd be so cool.
That's the next step for them.
These people already have these bleachers and everything already built around these big rings that you can't hardly see. If you made the ring a little smaller right in the middle, I mean, everybody can still get the same enjoyment. I mean, that could even be a halftime show kind of
Literally.
thing.
Exactly. That's how it starts.
Those guys are super cool. We support them. We're trying to come up with merch ideas.
Yeah, they're mechanics. They're construction workers. They're, all these, welders. Like, just start naming them off. And that's what they're doing in the normal day life, but they still come together and, basically have a blast together and have a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, that's where a lot of their skills come from, how they're able to do a lot of this stuff. We got carpenters, all this stuff. And then when they come together to do something together, it's like, whoa, well, you already know how to do this and I know how to do this. And bam, all of a sudden you can do these amazing things together because you've learned these skills and these trades throughout your life, and it's really cool,
Yeah, it was really fun to watch, Ricky and Brett and them like just in their element, enjoying getting out there in the dirt and ripping it up on these little mopeds.
Yeah.
If you fall over, you don't even get hurt. You just jump.
Yeah, most of the time.
I mean, you could get hurt, but
most of the time, it's not
you
so
can
bad.
You can just kind of roll and then get back
know,
up and go. But I was just going to say something earlier about making sure, like some of our merch and stuff like that we're trying to make. We're going to try to make shirts and an energy drink and skincare and a package for sports and all this stuff. We want to make sure that, we give back to these people. So, a portion of the things that we're going to do is going to go towards like helping them get new helmets, or maybe their wheel got busted and they needed a wheel for their next race, or just any little thing that we can do. We're going to be trying to set up ways to help these guys. And that's another big reason why T.I.L.T is going to be so successful, is because we're there to, help everyone. And we're not trying to do this in a greedy way. We want to really help other people.
Absolutely.
I think this is a good time to bring this up. This is going to be the T.I.L.T energy drink, which my girlfriend's still working on, but she works in a local laboratory. And we're really excited about it. This one's going to be the blue raspberry. And this is going to be sold eventually, but these are little energy shots. You would take this. It has all plant ingredients. The main one I want to bring up is guasa, which has a natural caffeine from the plant. It's not actually caffeine. So it also has a bunch of vitamins and stuff like that. These are actually good for you and give you energy. So, I mean, we want to help people that are having trouble at their sport and stuff like that, give them the enhancements that they need, on the fly. So this T.I.L.T energy drink is for those guys one day in the future. And it's also to support them. And we hope you guys one day will make sure you come and buy some energy drinks from us, buy some shirts from us, buy some of our stuff so we can support the other talent. That's the whole point of this whole thing. I think a lot of people, they work around that. So make sure you support us by buying our merch. Finally, the last thing I want to bring up today, because we're going to talk about a lot of the sports next time. We couldn't get into all of them. We could sit here talking about it all day.
Oh yeah.
We want to talk about kind of the future goals of where we see Tilt going and where what we think it's going to go. So first of all, I want to say the merch. That's the first step. The second step is, of course, getting the movie out.
That's the first step.
Yeah, that's the first
That's
step.
how it all started. Man.
That's what I meant. Flip those.
Flip them.
Get the merch out. Get some support from you guys. Support others. That's literally as simple as it is. We just want to get out there and support you. So we will be coming out to try to find more local talent to shoot episodes with. Yeah. So please make sure you subscribe to our channel. Come and like our stuff. Follow the other people who are in the film.
That's the main thing.
Follow them. Support
them.
Please. Like that's we tagged on every single artist and sports person in our film.
Everyone.
So that you guys can go out there and follow them. So please go out there and follow them, because that's the whole point of what we're doing here.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. But that's the key, It's like we started doing the thing, don't even know it was a movie, but at the end of the day, we needed we needed our own thing, you know what I mean? We've worked on everybody else's projects, end of the day. But what does that equate to? It was a paycheck, and it was cool. We learned stuff, got a good network, but at the end of the day, had nothing to stand on. So the movie creation was like, okay, well, let's just go purely local. Everyone's going to know each other and or know something. They'll know the locations. We don't have to go far. Stuff's coming to us. So let's really capitalize on this. And that's how it just kept building from, freestyle motocross into 8 chapters of stuff where we had no clue. We thought we were going to wrap up a year ago,
We thought we were just making an episode, not a movie.
Yeah, we had no clue how deep it was. And then it just started growing and building. And then it was like, okay, obviously there's going to be merch involved in this. But
what made me really realize that it was going to work? Not only because I believe in you and myself, because when we started telling people to stay tilted,
they knew what time it was.
They already were saying, by the time we believed, they're like, hey, y'all keep it tilted.
Yeah.
We're like, that's our line. But we love that, this sign is it's stay loose, love, shaka, all that good
means
stuff.
Be true to yourself.
Be yourself. Be true. Be
Stay
yourself.
tilted.
Stay tilted. Keep it tilted.
Yeah. Don't go.
We even have a handshake. It goes like this. Boom.
Bam.
Tilt handshake.
Just the whole thing, You don't have to be on the straight and narrow. You can stay yourself. You can be yourself. You don't have to, stick to the society standards. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is. You can totally just be yourself. And a lot of us have a lot of things from, whether it's family, friends, or just society in general telling us you can't do this or you shouldn't do that. And you know what? Don't listen to them. Be yourself. Pursue those passions, chase those dreams. And that's, the big thing about it. But leading into all that, we have to get the movie done, and we were working on it. And then stuff, sometimes me and him wouldn't even communicate. Not out of anything bad. We're just saying we both have a lot of stuff going on. And then we're both just like, man, we don't want this to just never happen. You know what I mean? But between the two of us, we just keep reaching out. And then in that time, we're just sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, now we're just stuck in the mud, but we weren't. And then boom, here I am looking and like, oh, there's an event coming, which leads right into what we were doing. And then we go film it and they're like, okay, maybe that's why it hasn't happened yet. And then all of a sudden there's an energy drink that was never.
This wasn't a part of the plan.
No, it was not part of the plan.
My girlfriend works in this laboratory and she's local talent, and I wanted to support her.
Hugely.
I just, sometimes these things just happen.
They do.
And that's the
naturally
whole
going
beauty.
With the flow.
That's the literal beauty of Tilt is.
Yep.
At any moment, something can go tilted.
It can get tilted real quick in a good way, what I mean? And then, and the big thing that I want to do is the episodes. The movie was something that I personally needed. I'll be completely honest with you. I needed something to be like, I made this, I created it, I came up with it, but I couldn't do it without him. And then he realized he couldn't do stuff without me. We tried to work together for years, trust us, and it wasn't lining up.
We were trying to find our flow. Like we worked on little projects like Shalonophobia, these 48-hour projects and stuff like that. But the discouraging need to make a living.
Yep, that's what was just ripping us apart. Man.
So we make it a point to send each other a message, if not daily, at least once a week. Like, You're awesome. You're killing it. Don't get depressed.
Yeah.
Keep up trying. Keep working.
We struggle with all these things too. You know,
Yeah,
we're just a normal person like everyone else.
We struggle with the same crippling self-doubt as what Brett calls it.
Yes. Creatives, man, are really bad for it. And we
Speaking
understand it.
Speaking of that, I have an album coming out in a while. Yeah, make sure you check out the Rustin Ritchie Band.
Please do.
Produced by Brett Siegel. Brett is an amazing sound guy. I'm so happy that he's a part of my team. He introduced me to a lot of really awesome artists. So as an artist, please check out my music. I'm going to be playing shows around Florida, but hopefully eventually around the world. And I hope to see you one day and connect with you, and our spirits can, we can gel about some stuff and have some fun. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, the music is extremely positive. The lyrics are all well thought out, and they're all from real life experiences. It's not like, oh, I just want to come up with something catchy and do something that's popular. No, sir. It's all real. It's like you understand it, and you listen to it and you're like, oh man, this is cool. So not only are you enjoying great music, but you're also really positive vibes and good things.
Like the song Powerful, I just wrote that one, and it's about standing on top of the mountain, and when you go down the river, you'll go paddle in hand, stuff like that. It's like about being powerful and overcoming your own adversity, overcoming yourself. I had to remind myself, I'm so powerful, standing in the wind, one with the elements, the power of the rain and the thunder and everything. It's all at once. You can be all of that. When people think of the rain or the thunder, they think of it in a sad way, but rain and thunder are part of the weather. So, you need all of those elements. And that's why depression and all that stuff is your thunder and your rain. You got to embrace all those parts of yourself. When you feel those chips are down on the table, don't let them knock you down.
You got that right. And like you say, we lead into the episodes. Well, of course, there's going to be Rustin Ritchie Band stuff on there. We're definitely going to, because basically when he goes out and does stuff, I go out there and film him. It's just
so supportive. I really appreciate Ian. Like a lot of people will say, well, I need this much money or that much money. And because we're working together on something that we truly believe in, we help each other and we support each other. And we also support other artists. That's the whole point of all this.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there's just so simple of a thing. Like, somebody who's doing the littlest of thing, if they're doing some kind of local talent that we see needs to be supported, we're all about it.
Yeah, we like to put the spotlight on it. We're literally just looking around for people that are in the dark, that are doing great things. And we're like, hey, we tilt a little light on them, and next thing you know, and they're, and you'll see it. The light in their eye kicks on. They'll start talking about it, and we're like, all right, we got to get rolling on this because you guys are talking about some great stuff here, and it's always so inspiring and motivating to speak to these people, because they see it in me, they see it in him when we talk about it, and then when we're talking to them about the stuff that they're passionate about, it's a natural flow. And it really inspires other people. And the crazy
roller
thing
derby
is,
kicks coming to mind.
Oh, huge! I mean that's something that I've known about. And like we say, when we're doing this, we're there, we're learning, we're having a great time, we're having fun, we're learning about stuff that we may not know about, even stuff that we did that just we're getting more information about. And then we basically get to take it in and then put it out there for you guys to be like, oh wow, this is great, and you guys don't have to go through the whole process of filming it and asking all the questions. You just get the gold of it. You get the gold nugget. Here it is. This is what this is. This is how you can get involved. This is how you can support them. This is why they're passionate about it. And then there it is. And it's a beautiful thing because they understand what we're doing and we understand, and respect what they're doing. And it's really cool to shed the light on there where it needs to be. And that's why, the movie's the platform that gets people to understand some of it, but the episodes are really where we're going to nail down and be able to reach out to more people.
And these podcasts.
The podcast is going to be huge.
Honestly, we're going to keep making these because we need to connect with you guys and get you guys to know us a little better. And we want to get to know you. That's the whole reason why we're doing this is so we can communicate our message and then hear yours.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would have never thought, but the podcast became a thing, and there's a reason for it.
This is my first podcast, and it's his too. So if you. I hope you guys like it.
Yeah, we're
definitely good at talking.
Yeah, we can talk. We can definitely talk about our passions and other people's passions for sure. But we found out that the power of the podcast. You know what I mean? It literally is. 9 times out of 10, I swear, if someone's listening to something, you think they're listening to music. No, they're listening to a podcast, whether they're learning something or trying to educate themselves on something, or if it's just pure entertainment. It's extremely powerful to get it out there. And then once you have a platform and you have, countless talents that you can bring along and talk about and support, it's wide open. And also it's a great place for us to kind of talk about where we're at in our film, what we're doing, what we're going to be doing next time, where we might be.
Yeah, all around it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate you guys, all you guys, all you T.I.L.T heads out there. We appreciate all you T.I.L.T heads out there, all you followers, all the guys who were in the movie. We appreciate you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We appreciate you guys watching this podcast. There is going to be more, so make sure you follow us. Be looking for the movie. We want to see you at the premiere.
December 13th.
December
is the movie.
13th,
This year,
2023 is going to be the release of the film, but then there will be episodes coming out. Yeah. Please make sure you contact us if you have any information that you want to share, or if you know somebody who's wanting to get tilted. We'll come out and get tilted with you. We're just there to film you guys because we have passion for filming. It's not even about a cost thing. So please just give us a call or a text or whatever way you can get a hold of us. We appreciate you guys watching. Again, we want you guys to get out there, stay tilted, and yeah. We'll see you next time. Subscribe.
Yeah, you either got to get tilted, stay tilted. Either way, it's just one of those things, and that's what we're looking forward to. And we can't wait to get to the next episode. We just got to finish this movie first.
So until next time, we'll see you guys later. Stay tilted, all right?
Stay tilted for life.
Tilt it up.